Hello everyone, welcome to Form Fully channel. In today's video, we are diving into the TCS WINGS 1 process track questions. We will be going through a series of multiple choice questions of process that are inspired by previous year exams. So if you are planning to conquer the process exam, watch the full video that will help you prepare for this track. Let's get started with this first question. Question 1. What are the ways to manage the shift efficiency with zero impact on business? Option A, all the options. Option B, ensure that team has relevant knowledge to prioritize the task based on SLAs or deliverables. Option C, ensure that the shift handover takeover procedures are followed. Option D, ensure that all the team members are aware of their roles and responsibilities assigned to the shift. And the correct option is A, all the options. Question 2. The sprint has ended. The development team has not completed any of the product backlog items selected for the sprint. What would be the next step? Option A, end of the sprint with retrospective since Scrum favors time boxing. Option B, extended the sprint since Scrum favors task getting done. Option C, request the product owner to accept the completed portion of the incomplete product backlog item and plan to complete them by next sprint, since Scrum favors empowered teams. And the correct option is C. Question 3. Which of the following risk will be identified through RIO risk identification exercise? Option A, operational risk, both customer and TCS related. Option B, only customer related risk. Option C, only TCS operations risk. Option D, none of the above. And the correct option is A, operational risk, both customer and TCS related. Question 4. When multiple Scrum teams are working on same product, how many product owners and product backlogs are needed? Option A, multiple product owners and multiple product backlogs. Option B, one product owner and one product backlogs. Option C, multiple product owners and one product backlog. Option D, one product owner and multiple product backlogs. And the correct option is C, multiple product owners and one product backlog. Question 5. A team wants to use planning poker to estimate efforts to achieve sprint goals. What will be the best recommendation? Option A, use when estimating a large number of items with large group of participants. Option B, use to find similar user stories and group them together to visualize the estimation. Option C, use numbered playing cards to estimate a relative small number of items in small teams. Option D, use an informal and quick way to get a rough feeling about the total size of backlog. And the correct option is C, use numbered playing card to estimate a relative small number of items in small team. Question 6. The process of granting users the right to use a service and system to manage the confidentiality, availability and integrity of the organization's data and IP. Option A, transition management. B, configuration management database. Option C, definitive media library. Option D, software configuration library. And the answer is no options given are correct. The correct answer is identity and access management. Question 7. When does a product backlog retires? Option A, when the product owner retires. Option B, when the customer provides sign-off on completion of project. Option C, when the product retires. Option D, when all sprint overs. And the answer is no options associated with the overall life cycle of the product. The retirement of product backlog is typically associated with the overall life cycle of the product. Question 8. It is a secure logical library in which the definitive authorized version of all software media configuration items are stored and protected. Option A, integration library. Option B, configuration management database. Option C, definitive media library. Option D, software configuration library. And the correct option is C, definitive media library. Question 9. What are the ways to manage the shift efficiency with zero impact on business? Option A, normal change. Option B, service change. Option C, major incident. Option D, standard process. And the correct option is C, major incident. Question 10. During the transition, who will sign the toll gates to move from one stage of transition to another stage? Option A, outgoing vendor transition manager. Option B, TCS transition manager. Option C, customer transition manager, since they are the approvers. Option D, toll gates will be signed in agreement with all above stakeholders. And the correct option is D. Question 11. An organization need to structure hundreds of developers into Scrum teams. You as a Scrum Master will option A. Work with organization management and prepare the best structure for each Scrum team based on seniority and skills of developers. Option B. Identify required number of Scrum Masters and require them to choose their Scrum teams. Option C. Facilitate awareness of developers about the goals and objectives of product development. Coach them about Scrum and let them work among themselves to Scrum teams. And the correct option is E. Question 12. It has been decided that the architecture for a project will have three layers: front-end UI, middleware, which will host the business logic, database component for the storage. Which of the following team structure would you recommend for a better business outcomes? Option A. 3 teams, one for each of the layer with clear protocol and interface between them to improve business-oriented collaboration. Option B. 6 teams, one development and one testing for each of the layers, a central integration team to continuously integrate the work. Option C. Feature-based teams, where each team is staffed with all the skills needed to develop the features. Option D. As long as the architecture is robust, team structuring does not matter. And the correct option is C. Feature-based team, where each team is staffed with all the skills needed to develop the feature. Question 13. Select all that apply. The sprint review is an event that requires option A. The product owner's sign-off. Option B. Active participation of the stakeholders invited by the product owner. Option C. Transition sign-off. Option D. Inspection and adaptation activities. And the correct option is B and D. Question 14. Scrum Master with respect to Scrum artifacts is option A. Coach the team to increase the transparency of the artifacts. Option B. Decide the format of the artifacts and ensure that the team follows it. Option C. Owner of the artifacts and responsible for having them up to date. And the correct option is A. Coach the team to increase the transparency of the artifacts. Question 15. Practice involved analysis of patterns of potential issues, assessment of flow volume, and resolution time taken to improve operation efficiency is option A. Data fix. Option B. Change management. Option C. Ticket analysis. Option D. Problem control. And the correct option is C. Ticket analysis. Question 16. This DevOps tool is used to build the code, test it, and deploy in staging or production. Option A. Jenkins. Option B. Docker. Option C. Nagios. Option D. Collect it or collect. And the correct option is A. Jenkins. Question 17. A company composes a project team of analysts, developers, testers, and architects. The company wants the team to adapt Scrum. To do so, they must take a cultural change. What is most likely the hardest change for this team? Option A. Adapt a set of metrics to measure progress. Option B. Eliminate the focus on comprehensive documentation. Option C. Eliminate the throw it over the wall mentality. Option D. Adapt a focus on delivering working software. And the correct option is C. Eliminate the throw it over the wall mentality. Question 18. In which of the following scenario RCA must be performed? Option A. Recurring issue with low priority. Option B. Upon client request for incident with defined criteria. Option C. Major incidents causing business impact. Option D. All of the options. And the correct option is D. All of the options. Question 19. In a RACI matrix, which is used for stakeholder management, R stands for option A. Required. Option B. Respectable. Option C. Responsible. Option D. Requested. And the correct option is C. Responsible. Question 20. Tools or frameworks that facilitate source code to be automatically compiled into releasable binaries is known as option A. Build automation. Option B. Business intelligence. Option C. Environment fix. Option D. Monitoring. And the correct option is A. Build automation. Question 21. Which metric should be focused more for standardization of changes and deployment automation? Option A. Outage duration. outage end time minus outage start time. Option B, deployment duration, planned end time minus planned start time. Option C, change risk impact and categorization. Option D, change cycle time, change closure time minus change open time. And the correct option is D, change cycle time. Question 22. The following data points can be considered for evaluating risk of changes. Option A, number of components undergoing changes. Option B, existence of implementers. Option C, existence of templates. Option D, change implementation duration. And the correct option is A, B, C, D. Question 23. New catalog item has to be added to the existing list of services where TCS is managing the end-to-end IT services for the customer IT organizations. Who should authorize the creation of the service catalog? Option A, service catalog owner. Option B, TCS as there is new type of skill for TCS. Option C, both customer and TCS. Option D, customer if there is a financial impact of provisioning services. And the correct option is C, both customer and TCS. Question 24. Which of the following is not a type of change? Option A, emergency change. B, normal change. C, quick change. D, standard change. And the correct option is C, quick change. Question 25. Escalation matrix should contain the details of the following stakeholders. Option A, both TCS and customer stakeholders. B, TCS stakeholders only. C, no stakeholders details are required to be documented as you have all the stakeholders personally. D, customer stakeholders only. And the correct option is A, both TCS and customer stakeholders. Question 26. The developers create the sprint goal. What is the role of product owner in creating the sprint goal? Option A. The product owner first describe the business objective of the sprint to the developers. Based on this and the selected items for the sprint goal is crafted. Option B. The product owner is not concerned with the sprint goal as it is an optional activity for the developers. C. The product owner is responsible for getting the stakeholders' formal approval for the sprint goal. D. The product owner can change the sprint goal anytime during the sprint. He or she can create a new sprint goal and ask the developers to work on it. And the correct option is A. Question 27. What type of change is mostly to be managed by service request management practice? Option A, an emergency change. Option B, a normal change. Option C, an application change. Option D, a standard change. And the correct option is D, a standard change. Question 28. On Monday morning, you are part of a major outage. As part of troubleshooting, it has been observed that there were 5 changes which got deployed into production. You have identified 2 changes which could have potentially caused outage. What is the order of changes to be rolled back? Option A. Changes should be backed out based on probability of failure. Option B. As there are multiple changes, we cannot roll back any change. Option C. Change which was deployed last should be backed out first. Option D, roll back both the changes. And the correct option is C. Change which was deployed last should be backed out first. Question 29. TCS location independent agile is about. Option A. How distributed agile team, each team itself being co-located, should collaborate. Option B. How to distribute work among team members distributed across different time zones. Option C, harnessing globally available talent. Option D, how an agile team can be distributed and yet perform without compromising on agility. And the correct option is A, C, and D. Question 30. You are leading a transition of a large operational support. During transition phase, when knowledge transition is in progress, should you ask for the incumbent vendor's known error database? Option A, yes. You should request for KDB, receive and enhance it further as per TCS standard with additional known errors and keep it updated always. Option B, no. You should always create a fresh KDB from scratch. Option C, yes. To solve this issue during secondary support changes. Option D, no. It would be security violation to request for their KDB. And the correct option is A. 31. Based on learnings from previous sprint, the Scrum lead decided to revisit the length of the sprint. What is the appropriate Scrum event to decide and agree on the change? Option A. Daily Scrum. B. Sprint planning. C. Retrospective. D. Product backlog grooming. And the correct option is retrospective. Question 32. Which of the following is not true with regards to the change management process? Option A, an emergency change cannot be executed without evaluation for dependency and consequences for other service and customers. Option B, change coming from priority 1 incident will be always of emergency category. Option C, in every case, emergency change should be tested before implementation. Option D, emergency changes can be implemented even before they are administratively the service management tool. And the correct option is D. Question 33. The development team often gets some production support requirements in addition to work in the sprint backlog. The team adapted their team composition and created a sub-team to support this ad hoc requirements. Which of the following statement is true? Option A, it is okay to create sub-teams within a development team. Option B, it is not okay since there cannot be a sub-team within a development team. Option C, the team can complete the production support as one team since it is high priority and then come back to the original sprint work. And the correct option is A and C. Question 34. Which tool of TCS can be leveraged to ease access reconciliation? Option A, Mastercraft. B, Right Access. C, TCS Relay. D, there is no TCS tool to resolve customer access reconciliation risk. And the correct option is B, Right Access. Question 35. Who are responsible to maintain and protect known error database and initiate the formal closure of all problems? Option A, Service Delivery Manager. Option B, every individual. Option C, Project Leader. Option D, Tower Lead. And the correct option is A, Service Delivery Manager. Question 36. Which of the following outcomes can be achieved by embracing RIO? Option A, higher time to resolution. Option B, high number of incidents with shorter resolution time. Option C, reduced number of incidents caused due to human errors. Option D, reduction in planned outage of change. And the correct option is C and D. Question 37. What happened if the offshore team members are not able to participate in the iteration demo due to time zone or infrastructure issues? Option A, no issues. On-site members can have iteration demo with product owners, stakeholders. It's a single team anyway. Option B, offshore members will miss the opportunity to interact with the product owners, stakeholders, and get the direct feedback about the increment they created. Option C, no major issue, since offshore lead and on-site members participate in the demo with product owners, stakeholders, they can cascade the feedback back to the offshore members. Option D, it is loss as the offshore members will not able to contribute the idea related to the way of working. And the correct option is B. Question 38. The estimation method recommended by Scrum is option A, planning poker. Option B, t-shirt sizing. Option C, yesterday's weather. Option D, none of the above. And the correct option is A, planning poker. Question 39. An incident is further passed on to next higher level of technical support team. This is known as A, categorization. B, escalation. C, improvisation. D, authorization. And the correct option is B, escalation. Question 40. TCS is awarded an engagement which involves managing the end-to-end IT services, application development, application support, infrastructure engineering, and infrastructure operations. There are no other vendors delivering to the customer. The customer is facing an ISO audit for operation process. Who needs to ensure that relevant artifacts are available for audit? Option A, as customer is getting audited, it needs to be the customer who has to face the audit. Option B, as TCS is the only service provider, TCS need to face the audit. Option C, TCS should not be facing audit as this is not exclusively started activity in the contract. Option D, customer should face the audit and TCS team will be augmenting customers with relevant artifacts and procedure documents. And the correct option is B. Question 41. An organization is on its path to adopt Scrum approach as its approach to software development. It decides to convert all project managers into Scrum Masters. Select the statement that holds good. Option A, it will create resentment to project managers because they will have a small team to manage. Option B, it is a good strategy. The project managers already know how to run the project. They need training on Scrum. Option C, the organization need to rethink on its strategy, identifying persons who are inclined or experienced in coaching and facilitation as their leadership style is a better strategy. And the correct option is C. Question 42. A Scrum team often runs into following issues: conflicting requirements from different departments, ad hoc work requests from different business managers, no feedbacks on increments. What could be the most likely cause? Option A. Issues with product owner responsibilities. B. Issues with how Scrum Master guides the team. C. Issues with planning ability of the development team. And the correct option is A. Question 43. To track the sprint progress, Scrum mandates: Option A. Preparing sprint burn down charts. B. Increasing the transparency by frequently updating the remaining work. C. Earned value approach. And the correct option is A and B. Question 44. A few days after the sprint planning, the product owner finds that it makes sense to develop another new functionality. Which two of the following statements are correct? Option A. The developers will add the new items to the sprint backlog. Option B. The product owner can add the new items in the product backlog. In the next sprint planning, the product owner can bring it up for developers section. Option C. If the developers agree, the product owner can swap an existing functionality in the current sprint for the new functionality. Option D. The developers should obtain the Scrum Master's approval to add this to the sprint backlog. And the correct options are B and C. Question 45. Sprint longer than 1 calendar month may result in: Option A. Too much to inspect in short meetings. B. Detached stakeholders. Option C. Increased complexity needing more traditional controls like documentation. Option D. All of the above. And the correct option is D. All of the above. Question 46. Major incident reviews takes place after a major incident has occurred. The content of the review document should mandatorily include: Option A. Timelines for the incident resolution. Option B. Document who is going to own the problem and the root cause. Option C. Understand what went wrong during major incidents to be ensured they will not repeat in future. Option D. All of the above. And the correct option is D. All of the above. Question 47. A Scrum team develops software during the sprints only when the product owner decides to go for release. The team takes up user documentation during the sprint. Which of the statement is correct? Option A. It is correct. Creating documents early will require constant efforts to keep them updated. Option B. It is correct. Scrum favors lazy documentation and the team can defer it to the last minute. Option C. It is incorrect. Anything that is required for the product increment to be production ready must be part of definition of done or the sprint. Option D. All of the above. And the correct option is C. Question 48. A user declined the resolution that you have provided on a production issue. What will be your next course of action? Option A. Tell the user to open a new incident. Option B. Reopen the incident and update user concerns in the incident. Option C. Request user to reopen incident with valid validation and artifacts. Option D. As the incident is closed, inform the user to update concern in feedback. And the correct option is B. Question 49. When a sprint is cancelled, the Scrum team discard all the work and refine a new product backlog. Is that statement true or false? And the correct option is B. False. Question 50. A product owner cannot send a representation to sprint review. Options are true or false. The correct option is B. False. Question 51. What should be a standard way for anyone outside an Agile team, for example, delivery partner of account, head of enablement function, to get the status of the work at any point in time? Option A. He or she can have a status review meeting whenever required. Option B, he or she can talk to each team member daily to understand the status. Option C, all team members need to send email updates to her or him daily. Option D, he or she can refer the physical or digital Kanban board which is maintained by team, and the correct option is D. Question 52. The business unit head wants the developers to include a highly critical feature in the current sprint. What should the developers do? Option A, ask the business unit head to work with product owner. Option B, work on that feature since a business unit head's priority is of utmost importance. Option C, as an empowered team, identify a backlog item in the scope for current sprint that may be dropped to accommodate this critical feature. Option D, work on that feature if Scrum Master approves it, and the correct option is C. Question 53. As a self-organized and empowered team, the developers in the Scrum team describes which business needs are to be developed during the sprint. Options are true or false, and the correct option is B, false. Question 54. When do you test the business continuity plan? Option A, when business continuity plan situation is declared by crisis management leader. Option B, when I am unable to access the application due to link issues. Option C, when BCP is first created. Option D, regularly as part of mock drills using mechanisms such as tabletop and call tree exercises. And the correct option is D. Thanks for watching. If you find this content valuable, do like, share and subscribe.